Hi guys, my name is Christine. Again, I'm really sorry for the low quality video. It's just that things have just been really busy this time of year, so I hope you understand. But hopefully that's not going to take away from the value that I hope to bring you today. So we're going to be talking about our goals for 2022, and obviously, I talk a lot about goals and that kind of thing on the channel, so this is really in my area. So I'm really looking forward to delivering this video for you before New Year's, before the new year begins, so you can get ahead on your goals, so you can start figuring out what to do, make an action plan. Because if you're like me, then probably a lot of your goals for 2021 are going to be pretty similar to 2022, or at least they're going to be related to each other in some way. So the first thing that I want to talk about is not overwhelming yourself, because this is something that I just keep on doing this. I never seem to learn the lesson. I'm a lot better with it now, but definitely during most of 2021, I was really trying to overload myself with work. And because I did that, instead I actually got worse results, because I have two channels. So I have this one and I have another one which I upload to a lot more than this channel, right? And that channel isn't about personal development. It's actually a dating and relationship channel. So if you're not interested in dating and relationship, then I don't recommend that you go to that channel, because that's what that channel is primarily about. But if you're into personal development like me, then stick to this one. So I was uploading so much to that channel because I was like, oh, I was thinking I just need to get through the numbers. Like, I was thinking, well, if I just keep on uploading videos, one of those is going to be a hit. One of those is going to get lots of views and it's going to bring me a lot more attention. And it's going to increase my ad revenue, all those kinds of things. And I was thinking, well, if I just keep on uploading videos, then that's going to do really well. But unfortunately, what I think happened is I overwhelmed myself. And basically what happened is that although those videos I think are good, they're not great. And I think it's because I didn't put enough time and effort into them, because I had so many to do, right? So sometimes if we overwhelm ourselves, we can end up doing a bad job because we are focusing on too many things, right? And we kind of half-ass everything then, instead of, doing one thing really well and getting it right and doing a good job of it. So I've decided that this year I'm going to be cutting back on what I've been doing and trying to make some things more high quality for this channel and also for my other channel as well. I'm going to be creating less videos. Now, I'll probably be creating roughly around the same amount for this channel, because I only upload roughly about 2 times a week on this channel. And that's kind of like the schedule I want to keep at. And I think I'm going to do the same for my other channel as well, so I can make better quality videos. So there's just something, something there that I'm doing so I don't overwhelm myself. Because I think when people get to New Year's Eve, they get super, super optimistic because of the new year. Because it seems like, oh, it's a fresh slate. I'm really going to give it a go this year. I'm really going to do all these different things. But you see, the problem with that is that sometimes you can overwhelm yourself. So let's say, take the classic example of someone who wants to lose weight, right? Someone who wants to start exercising more, someone who's, going to get really fit for the summer. They're thinking, oh yeah, summer 2022, I'm going to look like $1 million, whatever, right? And what they do is they say, okay, so I'm going to eat like a rabbit and I'm going to exercise an hour every day in the morning. I'm going to get up at 4 a.m. and I'm going to exercise for an hour. Now, that's fine if you've done that kind of thing before, but if you're new to exercise or you've never been able to keep up with an exercise regime in the past, then it's not likely that you're going to keep up with that. I'm not saying that you can't. I'm not going to say what you can and cannot do, because perhaps you've really got the drive to do it. Perhaps you've been listening to a lot of David Goggins and you're on fire, basically. So I'm not saying that you can't do that, but I'm saying that if you've not been able to do that in the past, it might be a lot more tricky for you to keep up with that kind of thing. Especially if you have tried that sort of thing before and haven't kept up with it. So what I've kind of always said to people when it comes to this kind of thing, especially when I started to learn this within the last couple of years, I say to people now, if you've been unable to keep up with that kind of thing in the past, then even though you've got a lot of drive right now and a lot of motivation because it's the new year, it's better if you actually just start small and start doing it in a more manageable way. And what I say is, why don't you just, for all out of January, instead of trying to do an hour of exercise, why don't you just try and do 15 to 20 minutes? You know, just stick to that to begin with, right? So you can get into the habit of doing it. Because, you know, 15 to 20 minutes of exercise, it sounds manageable, right? It sounds like something you could do. And it doesn't seem like something that is going to require a lot of time. It won't even require that much effort because, you know, 20 minutes of exercise isn't that strenuous. Obviously, it depends on what kind of exercise you're doing and how much weight you need to lose. You know, there's a lot of things that come into play. But generally, the general rule, 20 minutes or 15 minutes of exercise isn't that much. And it's something that you could easily squeeze into your day, right? It's something completely that you can do. And then when January's gone or halfway through January, you can up the time to like another 5 minutes. So you can exercise for 25 minutes or something like that. You know, or when it gets to February, perhaps you up it to 30 minutes, depending on how you're feeling about it and if you've actually managed to follow through on those 15 minutes, every day. So that's something to consider as well. Like, you don't want to overload yourself when it comes to your goals. So obviously there are lots of different people who may be watching this video, and you may have things like a blog. Perhaps you're a writer and you're trying to write a book this year. Perhaps you have some money goals, some financial goals. To start by doing it in a way that make January like kind of like a tutorial for yourself, where you do the things that you want to do, but in a small and manageable way, so you do not overwhelm yourself, especially if you are someone who procrastinates, who goes back on their word. I understand, I've been there completely. You want to do 100 things and you end up one day doing none of those things, and then you beat yourself up about it because you haven't done what you needed to do, and you promised yourself and you feel bad, we all, and then you're in like a loop, right? And that never makes you feel good. And when you don't feel good, you don't want to do anything anyway. It's a vicious cycle, right? So if you just do things in a small, manageable way, no matter what they are, to begin with, just in January, then by February, you can increase it a little bit, and then you'll be able to get to that point where you're able to do the things that you've promised yourself to do, that you want to do. You can up it to that hour of exercise eventually. You could write for an hour a day eventually. But if you've not been able to stay consistent with it in the past, then it's best to just start at a manageable size. And I know it doesn't sound very exciting, it doesn't sound very motivational, it doesn't sound like you're going to get amazing results with that kind of thing, but who knows, you may do. You don't know about this kind of stuff. Like, I can't predict basically what's going to happen for you. I'm not Mystic Meg, but you can get ahead. You can start integrating those habits into your life. And start getting the ball rolling, shall we say, and get yourself into the habit of doing these things. Now, I'm sure there's people watching this that don't procrastinate, that, do get on with things fairly well and they don't procrastinate. But I think this is something that a lot of people struggle with, so it's best that I cover all grounds on that kind of thing. So the next thing I want to talk about is I want you to do your goals, whatever they may be, whatever your to-do list is, right, in a way that you enjoy. Because I think sometimes we look at people on social media, or we watch YouTube videos about people doing the things that we are doing, or the things that we want to be doing, and we look at the way that they're doing it and assume that must be the way that I must do it. But my advice to you is to find a way to do your to-do list in a way that you personally enjoy. And I've mentioned this kind of thing before. Like if you see everybody who online is running to lose weight, that doesn't mean that you have to start running, especially if you don't like running, right? If you don't want to go running, then you don't need to go running just because everyone else is doing it on social media or whatever it is. Find a way that you enjoy exercising. So that could be martial arts. It could be just walking. It could be going swimming, it could be doing a cardio workout on YouTube, whatever it may be for you, so find something that you personally enjoy, a method that you enjoy, and then continue with that. It might be when you are writing a blog post or doing something to do with your work. Perhaps you like listening to music, or perhaps you think, oh, well, that's what everyone does, so I need to be doing that as well. But you would actually prefer just having silence around you, and you wouldn't like any kind of music being played in the background. So, you need to find ways that you can enjoy it, because I think that's what we need to be doing. That's one of the reasons why I think people struggle with achieving their goals, is that they're not necessarily, it's not because they don't want it, it's because the method that they are doing, the system that they have in place, isn't one that they actually enjoy, and not one that they can keep up with. So, you know, find a way to make it enjoyable for you. Find a way to make it fun for you. And if you're enjoying yourself and you're having fun while you're doing your work, whatever it may be, when you're working towards those goals, you're going to do a better job of it because you're in a good mood. Now, I'm not saying, you know, obviously you won't be in a good mood every single day of 2022 just because you're doing things in an enjoyable way, but it does help. It does take the edge off. Because I think, you know, sometimes you see people doing things in a certain way and you feel like you need to be also doing it in that certain way, but then it kills your soul. You know, you want to find things that nourish you, that make you feel good, that, you know, fulfill your soul, that make you get excited about doing what you want to do. And I think sometimes it's just as simple as switching up a method. You know, because I think we deserve, you know, some happy time, some time to enjoy ourselves. And I think if we find methods to do our to-do list in a way that's enjoyable, I think we could achieve that. And I also think another add-on to that is to not beat yourself up if you have an off day. So if you're having an off day and for whatever reason you don't complete everything on your to-do list or you do none of your to-do list, don't beat yourself up about it. Just get back on the horse. And when you start realizing what you're doing, you know, just do something small. It doesn't have to be something big. You don't have to complete your to-do list on one of these days you're feeling off. You know, just do what you can. You know, if it gets to the afternoon and you've completely procrastinated, you know, just do something small for whatever it is that you're trying to do. You know, if it's an exercise goal, then just do, you know, just a few minutes of exercise. If it's to do with your website or your business, your side hustle, you know, just do something small. Just make a little step, you know, so you feel a little bit accomplished. And if you do get to the end of the day and you've done nothing, then just realize that tomorrow is another day. And, you know, I think we can all, we all have these moments at the end of the day where, especially if we've had a bad day and we, you know, we look back on the day and we're like, oh, I wish I had done this, I wish I had done that. And we feel awful, you know. And then there's those days where you do everything on your to-do list, or at least you work on some things on your to-do list and you feel amazing. So in those kind of moments, you know, remember the good feeling. Remember how good it feels to do your to-do list. Remember how good it feels to, you know, accomplish things, and keep that in the front of your mind the next time you want to procrastinate, because, you know, you got to you know, remind yourself, you know what, if I procrastinate and I don't do anything at the end of the day, I'm going to feel really bad about myself. But if I do everything, or at least I do most of it, then I'm going to feel really good and I'm going to feel really productive, you know. So, you know, those are just some things to consider with your goals for 2022. You know, if you need a bit of motivation, if you need a bit of help, then please do come back and re-watch this video, so you can get a little bit more inspiration, so you can, you know, get a little bit more help and give you that little bit of boost to get you through your goals. But my personal message to you is to not overwhelm yourself and find a method to do your to-do list, whatever it may be, in a way that you enjoy, in a way that you can make it more fun for yourself, okay? So that's my personal message to you. Find a way to make 2022 and doing the things that you want to do for 2022 more enjoyable. Find a way to make it fun for yourself, okay? And don't feel guilty about having fun. It's okay to have fun while you're doing things that may require a lot of effort and may require a lot of hard work. It's okay to smile, to enjoy your day, and to do it in a way that you like, okay? It's very important that you remember that. Okay, so thank you so much for watching. Please leave a like on this video if you liked it. Please subscribe if you haven't done so already, because that really does help my channel out. And thank you so much, and I shall talk to you again very soon. Goodbye, guys.